So today I'm going to be talking about the Tom Ford Boys and Girls lipsticks again. I do have a previous video in which I talked about the first 9 which I received, and that was just, I didn't do any lip swatches, I did arm swatches, but today I have 16 with me. I'm going to stop referring to them as the boys and girls because these are all girls. There is one boy. I did buy one boy this year. So, surprise, he'll be last. Boys go last, ladies first. And yeah, we'll get on with it. I have 5 of my girls are in the lip sheer formula, which is also a formula in Tom Ford's permanent range. I don't have any of those lipsticks, and I don't think I want to buy any based on the performance of the lip sheers. They're just exactly what the name implies. And if you like a sort of glossy, slightly glossy look, but with more pigment, the lip shines are infinitely superior. So I'll get on with that, and I will be doing this in alphabetical order. There are only 5 of these, starting with FABIOLA. So this is one that and that's just a really lovely tawny sort of brown, and I will be swatching that now. I'm afraid this just happened, and this is the first time I opened this lipstick. And you can see that, well, actually I don't really need to too much. Yeah, this is the first time, I can't remember the last time a lipstick broke on me. So I won't be encountering that with these next few. But I do know that other people have experienced this issue. I believe Sabrina from the Beauty Lookbook had several of her girls break like this. So I do think that that is something to keep in mind. Quality control may be an issue. I do like this color. I would describe it as a sort of caramel. Look at that. I mean, this is just inexcusable. I'm not sure what I'm going to do with this. Well, that's like kind of swatch you'd expect from a 5-year-old, but this is not what I expect from a lipstick that cost $34, I think, $34 US. And there you can see that swatch. I'll try and put it in the fridge and resuscitate, but let's hope that there's no more of those incidents. So the next color that we have is LARA, also in the lip sheer range. I have tested this in my previous video, and LARA did not break, so hopefully she is going strong. And I've removed that swatch of FABIOLA because it was awful. you can see that's very sheer indeed. And I will wipe my wrist clean after. I just personally don't think that this is worth paying $34 for. But I'll swatch it, and you can check out the color, and maybe you'll like it enough to get it. So LARA held up without breaking. Sorry, dark hair always gets in the way. Here she, it's really just a lovely color. Just wish it was more pigmented. And there's that swatch again. And I have quite rosy lips, so this is going to vary depending on how pigmented your own lips are. I suspect that it will look warmer on most people. Done. On to our next girl. LEIGH. Okay, this is, I messed up last time. I don't know if it was LEIGH or SCARLETT. I messed up and I put one of them in the ultra rich category. They are very pigmented, and so I did mistake, I think, SCARLETT as an ultra rich lipstick. So my bad. And there we have LEIGH. So pretty. Just a lovely sort of fuchsia, not fuchsia, but a muted sort of raspberry pink. And yeah, I did say I would not use that on. And I'm happy to report that these girls are okay, so you can see how that's quite pigmented. And here we have LEIGH, and you can see great pigment on the lips. I find the longevity for this type of formula, it's quite standard, 2 to 3 hours, depending on how much you're eating, drinking, whatever. And here we go. So there's that comparison swatch. And what am I meant? Yeah. So, I mean, definitely one of my favorites. And I think SCARLETT is lovely too. And these really, they seem like the ultra rich formula. It's sort of inconsistent. FABIOLA did too, but we had problems with her. Next up, ROMY. I hope I'm pronouncing this right. So this is, so far, FABIOLA is the first Neiman Marcus girl. And ROMY is from Neiman Marcus too. So maybe the rest are from Selfridges. So maybe this is a store problem. We shall see. Okay. I'm actually not usually attracted to this type of color. It's sort of a coppery brown with shimmer. And I have my clean wrist. Let's see how that swatches. Okay. And it looks a lot like LARA. Probably is a lot like LARA. be fair and just do 2 swipes. Okay, so LARA is much more sheer. I don't recommend her. My least favorite boy is named Aaron. Am I gonna get him? Crap. Well, I can't be unprofessional. Where are you, Aaron? Aaron is hiding. He's my ugliest boy. But this looks very similar to Aaron, so we'll see how it swatches. So I've got ROMY on, and I like her. And my hair is casting. Okay. What you see here on your lips, I'm getting more of that sort of caramel butterscotch sort of autumnal vibe that I wanted, that I expected LARA to have too. And so, by the way, I did find Aaron while I was watching, and they do look very similar. So I would say ROMY and Aaron would be a good couple. Although I'm not sure ROMY deserves Aaron. And I've never tried Aaron on. And now, maybe now should be the time. I know it's deviating from my just girls promise, but we all want to see my ugliest boy, right? It's my ugliest lipstick, I think. Possible exception, Charlotte Tilbury, Hepburn Honey. That could be worse. But we'll stick with Aaron. I'm gonna do this. I have to. Okay, Aaron. It's gonna be, how is this gonna be? You may own Aaron and love him. If you do, I'm very, very sorry for any offense they may have caused. And guess what? Aaron isn't so bad. Swatch him right here. You can see what made me yes, I did judge. I judged by swiping, swatching, rather than trying him on. And it's really not bad at all. Well, you can be the judge of that. He's quite different from, much warmer than ROMY, our little couple that we have. This never seems to work. Anyway, I do love the coupling idea. I wonder if I can couple them up. Don't worry, I won't do that on video. Alrighty. Aaron, I'm sorry, Aaron. You're not so bad after all. Hepburn Honey. That's the worst. Last in the Lips and Girls is Scarlett. That's the one that I confused for an ultra rich color in my last video. And I will swatch her now. And it happened again. We've had another casualty. This is Scarlett, and Scarlett is from Selfridges. So I don't think it's a store issue. This is disappointing. I'm not swatching them particularly. I'm not like on my lips or anything. I would say that this is a concern. So there we have Scarlett on the bottom. It was a bit unfair, and I did a few passes of her because I don't know how much longer I'm going to be able to use Scarlett. It's a real shame, not hardy like Scarlett O'Hara. So concluding my thoughts on that lip sheer formula. Well, we've had two casualties. This was, I'm really bummed about this. I really liked Fabiola. And I'm not impressed with the ones that did, except for LEIGH. She's been okay so far. So hold on there, LEIGH. I'd give these a D. I'd say skip. You're better off buying just about anything. But no. On to the ultra rich formula. Starting with Anne. In my last video, I went on a little bit of a diatribe about traditional names, and I'm not going to do that now, although I just did bring it up. There you can see she's intact and lovely color. I really do like the formula of these, of the ultra rich ones. I'm not sure that it's, I find that Tom Ford's lip color formula is inconsistent in itself. But this is just like the standard cream sort of formula that you'd associate with his earlier lipsticks, like Spanish Pink and Sable Smoke. Our next girl, is she a new one? Yes, she is. Grace. I was really excited about Grace. I'm glad she's arrived. And here we have Grace. And I don't know, should I just tie it back? I always think I look uglier with my hair tied back. Didn't need to share that. This is the formula here is the best yet. It feels moisturizing. It doesn't feel thin at all. And I got coverage in one swipe. Rubbed my lips together. And so yes, I'm impressed with Grace. Okay. Grace is gone. And we are now on to another name that I'm not 100% sure I know how to pronounce. There's an accent grave above the E in INÈS. So I think I'm pronouncing that correctly. Any French speakers, feel free to comment. Ooh. This is a nice one. Yeah, there we go. And it's a lovely, deep, plum, sort of a plummy, wild rose color. I love it. I hope I love it when I swatch. Well, I haven't swatched it yet. There is a JOAN Paul. Oh. Oh no. I wasn't pressing that hard either, was I? INÈS, you let me down. But we'll do what we can. You are watching this live, unedited. What a shame, because that is a very pretty color. So I have JOAN on now. And JOAN is a sort of name that you don't think is very interesting, but I'm generalizing. It's not a like unique, trendy name, but often it's the timeless names that work best, and this color is not particularly revolutionary, but I love it. KYRA. Okay, yes, I have to make a little, I have to acknowledge that I was wrong about something. First I'll swatch. And that is really nice. I can't wait to put that on. Yes, I haven't tried it on my lips yet. It looks sort of vampy, but in general, these are all really wearable. And if you've checked out Christine's, well, excellent, if you're watching this video, you know about Temptalia blog, you'll see that even those sort of strange space age blues look wearable on her. I'll try on KYRA now, and I'll explain my mistake later. I didn't catch it on film, but it happened again. I swear it is not just me. And I liked it. It has to be the shades that I like. The break. This is such a shame. This state it's in. How many lipsticks is that now? 4. I'd say that's not a coincidence. That's subpar quality. And for these prices, that's just not. I love Tom Ford makeup. I bought. Still have 3 more of these which I'm not very terribly excited about, to be honest. But it's just not good enough. Anyway, here's KYRA. And last week I said that it was probably named after Cindy Crawford's daughter, who is now following in her mother's footsteps, quite literally, on the catwalks in Paris. I said it was named after her. It isn't. I know that only because the Cindy Crawford's daughter's name is Kaya, not KYRA. So, my bad. Whoever this was named after, I assume they are named after someone. I love this color. Oh wow. I wish I'd got that on camera too. So, we're back. with 4 more to go. MARISA, this is also, I believe these are mostly colors that I showed in last week's video, and I did mention that MARISA was one of my favorites, and clean arm now for swatching again, and you can see that this is just, it's almost it's a dusty rose, sort of very muted. Reminds me a little bit of Charlotte Tilbury's Pillow Talk lipstick, but rosier. So that's MARISA 1S. Yep. And again, this feels very summery. Not like a typical autumn release. And I will put her on now. Did not break. I don't know if we should be giving points for not breaking that, but that's a relief. This is, so on my lips, this just translates, it feels like one of the thicker formulas, very creamy, moisturizing, but it doesn't seem so pigmented for some reason. Maybe that's just the lighting. I do think it is lovely, and I think many people will enjoy MARISA. Enjoy MARISA. So our next lipstick is MARIKO, and this is the vivid orange. One of these is better for, yeah, there we go. It's like a persimmon sort of color. Really pretty. She held up, and I think this is there's nothing to be scared of. I know orange lipstick seems like orange blush too, highly underrated. They really perk up your face. I think they're very youthful, and granted not very autumn-like, but this is a beautiful lipstick. Texture. It's not quite on the level of Grace and what was that other one that I said was so fabulous? Grace and, okay, one of them. Yeah. Okay, pressing on. So this is NAOMI. Perfect. I assume it's named after Naomi Campbell. And it does seem like a very Naomi Campbell shade. I've still got MARISA on. I'm doing this on camera because now we know that there is a sort of consistent issue here. We want to get it on record. Well, I do. and I'm not swatching, not pressing that hard. If you think I am, you can tell me in the comments. Yeah, NAOMI is a winner. She's, I love this one, and I love the fact that it didn't break. With me, I'm a TR filmographer. Yeah, and that's lovely, the color. No, I haven't swatched it. It's wrong with me. I've just gone over it a few times. But 3, which I think is fair. And I love it. Naomi Campbell has always struck me as a sort of someone you don't mess with. So I'm glad her namesake didn't break. Here we have a new one, Valentina. This is also one I was very excited about. Hopefully that doesn't mean it's going to break. Now I'm really quite scared. I would suggest storing these in the fridge if you live in a warmer climate. Alright, here we have Valentina. And I think I did about 2 swipes. I was busy nattering. And I've done that. And it reminds me of, so I've been on a Tom Ford kick. When am I not? And I bought quite a few of his new shade extension lip colors. And this reminds me of a far less pigmented Discretion, but it is rosier. Also reminds me of La Piscine, which is one of my favorites in the clutch size lip balms. Same packaging as the girls. I did then notice that one of these was a bit wobbly the last time I applied it. I think it was Fathom. Maybe it was this one. Okay. Check that out. Yeah, so, I mean, can't expect perfection. Every lipstick to be perfect, and I certainly do live in a hotter than normal climate. But I also have the aircon on about 9% of the time. And, well, I will continue to enjoy La Piscine, and I will smash it back into its little tube, get the last bits out of it because I like it that much. And I will remove Valentina, so she gets an A. Give her one more try. She'll make an A+. This one has a little bit of shimmer in it. Not an obtrusive amount, but just a little bit. It's still a bit thinner than the best ones in the Ultra Rich formula. So I say an A for Valentina. Beautiful color. Great for fall. And we've come to our last lipstick of the day. The ones that I still haven't received yet, which I may or may not bother reviewing, are Julianne, Alexis, and Catherine. So if you do want me to review those when they come, let me know in the comments. I will let you know if they break on me. Okay, so Zoe, this was one of my, this is definitely a favorite. And I had a rather, a sort of playground anecdote about a Zoe I knew in my last video. I do apologize for that. It wasn't very nice or mature. So this is what I would suggest buying instead of MARISA. Just for most people, it's more pigmented. Hopefully it's not going to break. You shouldn't have to worry about your lipstick breaking. Great. Yeah, I'll do this one is no shimmer. It's definitely a cream, and it has less shine than some of the others. Zoe is a really lovely, where's MARISA? Lucky. No, it's MARIKO. Knew my, yes, okay, second try, that's not too bad. On the bottom, Zoe. And Zoe feels creamier. A little bit more nude and a little bit less of that English rose sort of color that you have with MARISA, which is so pretty. I do think there are other colors in the Tom Ford range that you can buy if you want to achieve that English rose sort of look. Wrap this up. I swatched 16 shades today, pretty much back to back. I know that it's not, that my setup isn't super fancy, but this is all uncensored, and so take that as you will. I'm not very happy with this collection. I also, I have received 3 of the Tom Ford new shade extensions. Sorry, I'm just playing with my bangs now. And they were very inconsistent. They seemed, I got Foxfire, which was had a thin, sort of streaky consistency. Beautiful color, but not there in terms of formula. Discretion is very glossy, but I like it. I do recommend that one. And Devore was like a lip shine. So I'm not really sure what's going on with Tom Ford. It seems like a lot of things are being released at once. If you aren't aware, there will be single eyeshadows. I'm a huge fan of Tom Ford's matte eyeshadow formula. formula. So those will be dropping before Black Friday, along with, I hear, a tinted moisturizer. That's the word. I'm not liable for any disappointments, but I do hope that those eyeshadows are more consistent in terms of quality. And I think it was a really bad idea to have these two lipstick launches come out basically simultaneously. And I do think it shows that they were rushed. 16 divided by 4? Math is not my strong suit. Yeah, 1/4 of my shades broke. I do like the ultra rich formula. If these hadn't broken, I would probably give them a higher grade. But I would say that the girls' collection is for me, a C at best, and a D plus or C minus for the sheers, and for the girls, the ultra rich girls. I have one more surprise. For the ultra rich girls, I'd say a B. It's there. I'm not sure if that adds up to a C. Maybe it's a C plus. Now, that brings me to that boy. The one boy I brought home. Warren. Also the least sexy name, but the one I ended up buying. It's Warren. I have never had any problems with my lips and boys breaking, or any Tom Ford lipsticks breaking. And it's sort of annoying, like, the girls are flimsy and shoddy, and the boys hold up well. Some of my boys are 3 years old and doing very well. Not the case with the girls, half of which are insipid in terms of color. So I'm gonna end this with Warren, and I really hope I love this. Really hope it doesn't break. That's Warren. Maybe I should just have gone. I liked Federico. There is a cute Italian waiter I know named Federico. Maybe that has something to do with it. And Charles. The boys seem better, which is a letdown. But Warren, swatching quickly. Look at that, and see, it's just unfair. I mean, it's a superior formula. I'm sorry, and my hand is all stained. This is it's a burgundy. I'm not sure if that's showing my lips, like a claret. And it's, I'd say, slightly warmer undertones, but very flattering. That concludes today's review. This from my hair, it's like really getting dreadful looking. And thank you so much for watching. I hope it's been helpful, and I hope that if if you have bought any girls, they are more hardy than mine. Although I would be interested to know how yours hold up.